Welcome everyone to another deep dive. Today we're jumping into a book that, well, it's really made waves in how people think about money. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm. A classic for many.
Exactly. And even if you've heard of it or read it, we want to dig a bit deeper today. Pull out those really key nuggets,
Yeah.
the ones that maybe push back against standard financial advice.
Yeah.
So the basics. It's personal finance, self-help, but told like a story. It's got this unique setup. Kiyosaki talks about growing up with, well, two dads.
Right.
There's his actual father, the poor dad, highly educated, PhD even,
Yeah.
but always kind of struggling with money.
Uh-huh.
And then there's his friend's dad, the rich dad. Didn't have much formal schooling, but was wealthy,
Yeah.
really financially savvy.
And that contrast is, I think, the core of it, isn't it? It immediately grabs you.
It really does.
So our mission, really, for this deep dive is to unpack that. Look at the clashing advice from these two father figures. We want to pull out the most impactful financial insights from the book.
Yeah, help you get the gist quickly, but thoroughly.
Exactly. Get Kiyosaki's viewpoint and explore some maybe surprising ideas about, the mindset behind wealth. Stuff that really does challenge how we usually think.
Okay, so let's dive into that setup. I mean, the way Kiyosaki chose to tell this, it's clever, right? It's not some dense economics textbook.
No, definitely
It's
not.
a story. It makes these sometimes complex ideas feel, well, accessible,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're totally new to finance.
Very approachable.
And that poor dad figure is so central. This, highly educated guy, Kiyosaki's real dad, went through the whole system, degrees and all,
Mm-hmm.
yet money was always tight. There's a real paradox there, isn't there? He kind of hints that maybe the traditional path, school, degrees, doesn't automatically equal financial success.
That's a huge point he makes.
From Kiyosaki's perspective, what do you think was the biggest blind spot for the poor dad, despite all that education?
Well, what's fascinating, I think, is how Kiyosaki shows the poor dad really valued, job security, a stable paycheck.
The traditional route.
Exactly. He saw higher education as the way to get that security. The blind spot. Maybe not fully grasping how to acquire assets, how to make money actually work for him instead of just working for money.
Right.
And that perfectly sets up the rich dad. Less school, but incredibly wealthy, financially sharp.
Yeah.
And boom, right away, it makes you question your assumptions, doesn't it? About what being smart with money even means. It suggests there's another kind of education needed.
Practical education.
Yeah, less about diplomas, maybe more about real-world financial wisdom, applied knowledge. It gets you thinking critically about what everyone else tells you about getting rich.
He definitely does that. And once he's got you questioning things, Kiyosaki doesn't wait around.
Yeah.
He dives straight into the core lessons from the rich dad.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the absolute fundamentals, especially if you're just starting out, is getting the difference between assets and liabilities. Crystal clear.
So crucial.
Kiyosaki has this super simple rule. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out. That's it.
Simple but powerful.
And he even challenges the common idea that your house is always your biggest asset. He argues, well, it can actually be a liability if it's just sucking cash out every month. Mortgage, taxes, repairs.
Right. The cash flow aspect.
I've always found that flip fascinating, how he redefines asset.
Mm.
Why is that specific distinction so vital if you're trying to build wealth?
Well, that's precisely it, isn't it? By defining assets purely as things that generate income
Huh?
and liabilities as things that cost you money, he forces you, the reader, to look at your spending differently. So many people buy things they think are assets, like maybe a fancy car or sometimes even the house.
Yeah.
But they're actually liabilities draining their cash. And that, he says, is what keeps people stuck in the rat race.
Working just to pay the bills for those liabilities.
Exactly. So understanding that difference, it empowers you to focus on buying or creating things that actually build wealth over time. True assets.
Okay.
And that leads right into another huge theme, the emphasis on, financial education. And this ties straight back to the rich dad character, doesn't it? It's not about classrooms and degrees necessarily.
No.
It's about actively seeking out knowledge on how money really works. Investing, taxes, markets. If you zoom out, it's basically saying learning about money isn't just, for academics or something you do once.
It's ongoing.
It's an essential life skill, something anyone can and probably should keep learning about.
And I think this flows into what might be the biggest aha moment in the book for a lot of people.
Which is,
This idea of making money work for you instead of only working for money. It's a fundamental shift, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. A total mindset shift.
Moving away from just being an employee, trading your time for a paycheck and hopefully some security,
Uh-huh.
to thinking like an owner,
Hmm.
an investor, someone who focuses on acquiring assets that generate income for them, passively or semi-passively.
Exactly right. And a very practical strategy that flows from that principle is building passive income sources.
Okay, yeah.
So instead of your only income being your salary, the book really pushes you towards creating other streams of income. Things that keep paying you whether you're actively, punching a clock or not.
Like rental properties.
Rental properties, dividends from stocks, maybe royalties, business investments, things like that. The genius, as Kiyosaki presents it, is that this kind of income isn't tied directly to the hours you work.
It can scale.
It can scale beyond your time. It breaks that linear trap.
Yeah.
Trade hour, get dollar.
Okay, that sounds fantastic, obviously. But, for someone just starting, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed, passive income can seem miles away.
Sure. Like a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Kiyosaki offer any, warnings or maybe simpler ways for a beginner to even start thinking about this?
He definitely doesn't paint it as easy money. It takes work, learning, upfront effort.
Okay.
He often suggests starting small. Maybe you don't buy an apartment building first go.
Right.
Maybe you focus on acquiring the knowledge first. Read books, attend seminars, understand cash flow, how debt works, basic investing. Build your financial intelligence, as he calls it.
Learn before you leap.
Pretty much. Understand the game before you put big money on the table. And really, all these ideas, assets versus liabilities, financial education, passive income, they all build up to this overarching mindset the book really champions. An entrepreneurship and investment mindset.
Taking control.
Yeah, taking control, being willing to take calculated risks, focusing on building your own wealth machine rather than just relying on an employer for your financial future.
So let's boil this down. What does all this mean for you listening?
Mm-hmm.
First, I think Rich Dad Poor Dad is just brilliant at taking these potentially big, intimidating financial ideas
Mm-hmm.
and making them graspable, understandable, because it's wrapped in that story.
The narrative really helps.
And for you, the learner, this deep dive hopefully gives you a solid shortcut. You get the core principles, Kiyosaki's key takeaways, without feeling buried in jargon.
Yeah, a concise overview.
Presented in a way that, hopefully gets you thinking about your own situation without just being overwhelming.
And connecting those dots for you. These ideas, they might seem simple on the surface by assets, not liabilities, keep learning,
Right.
but they offer a really powerful alternative way to look at things compared to a lot of traditional financial advice,
What's the name?
which I think raises a really important question for you personally. How do you see your own relationship with money right now, with work? Are you mainly working for your money, trading time for dollars? Or are you actively taking steps, even small ones, to make your money start working for you?
That's the core question, isn't it?
It really is.
So summing up, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, at its heart, it's a challenge. It challenges you to rethink the whole path to financial success.
Yeah.
It pushes you towards, let's say, practical financial wisdom, strategic thinking, maybe taking some initiative,
Yeah.
rather than just assuming the traditional school and job route is the only way or even the best way.
Well said. It definitely shakes things up.
It does.
And maybe that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If, as Kiyosaki argues, formal education doesn't guarantee financial success, what does that really imply about the kind of learning, the kind of education we should be prioritizing throughout our lives if we truly want to build lasting wealth and security? For ourselves, for our families, what kind of learning really matters most?